All right, welcome to a very special Friday edition of Ringside Reporter Podcast. My name is Eric Lorta. I'm here with Joe Habib, England's adopted son, and the big news today, the weigh-in for Deontay Wilder, Dominic Breazeale. Wilder weighed in at I believe this might even be a career high for him, 223 and a quarter, and Breazeale weighed 255 and a quarter. So quite a big weight difference there, but the heaviest he's ever been is Deontay Wilder. He put on about 11 pounds since his last fight. He didn't look fat, put it that way. I mean, Wilder, he kind of looks like he always does. And he had talked about this. He had actually talked about putting on some weight and everything like that prior to, I guess, his last fight. I guess after his last fight, he talked about putting on some weight, putting on like some more bulk and everything like that. So I don't think it really hurts him here. I really don't. But it will be interesting because he's used to being a little bit lighter. He's used to be around the 212, 215 mark. I'll be real interested to see how he moves, and I'll see, and to see if this affects his stamina at all too. That's going to be interesting. That, given the fact, if he needs it, because most people are saying that this fight isn't going 6 rounds. What is the over/under on this, Beeb?
I got to check it. I'm going to pull it up. But I also want to, I hate to correct you, but Deontay Wilder has been as high as 229.
Has he? Against who?
Yeah. I can pull it up for you, but he usually used to weigh in at, like, this was his normal weight, but then he started coming in a little bit lighter. So that was like the difference, because he was sick for one of the fights that he came in at 214. He said he had like for Ortiz, I think he weighed 214, and I guess he said he had a cold or he had a flu or something, and that was why. Let's pull up his box rec and we'll go over his weights.
Yeah, because I thought that that's a pretty high weight for him.
For Molina, he weighed 229. For Duhaupas, he weighed 228 and 3/4.
Really? 227
for Malik Scott. Oh, go look at his box rec. He's like 217, 217, 228, 229. He's been 229 a couple times. That's the heaviest he's been, is 229.
Wow.
So if you look at it, he weighed 220 for the Bermane-Stavern fight, the rematch, and then he went to 214, then he went to 212. So his weight's been all over the place, but generally he's been around 220, 222-ish, 223-ish.
What do you attribute that to? I mean, because that's a pretty good fluctuation. That's not like, that's a pretty good fluctuation.
I'll tell you exactly what I attribute it to. I just think this guy's got a lot of friggin' pent up energy in his body, especially lately. All the stress he's been going through, dealing with this Joshua situation, not being happy that he's not being given the credit that he feels he deserves and stuff. Mm-hmm. That weighs on you mentally. And stress can burn calories, brother, as we all know. Yeah. Sometimes people eat more when they're stressed out. Some people eat less, and some people get that adrenaline flowing. And especially when you're working out and you're stressed out at the same time,
right?
You're gonna burn a lot of calories, brother.
Well, let's talk about yesterday, and because it bleeds over in today. So yesterday they had the press conference, and when Wilder was talking, I mean, Wilder's a showman.
Yeah.
Wilder's a showman, and I know you did a show on this yesterday about him, him saying he's going to kill him and stuff like that. And what's funny is that I read a really good on Twitter. There was somebody that was commenting. I was part of the thread, and the guy said, that's people who actually do that don't talk about it. You know what I mean? Or people who are actually capable of doing that don't ever talk about it. And he's 100% correct. You know what I mean? Wilder's not. Listen, man. Wilder. This is all rhetoric from Wilder. Good, bad, whatever. It's getting you to tune in. Okay. Listen. Do I condone it? And I wish he wouldn't talk like that. And I wish he wouldn't say that kind of stuff, because it is bad. You look like a thug and all that other stuff. But that being said, this isn't the end of the world, guys. I mean, this isn't.
I'll tell you my problem with it. the way he's talking about it is like he's describing it like he's. It's almost like, I'm not saying he's going to do it, and this is like attempted murder or it's premeditated murder, but he's talking about it as if he is going to do it. Like he's basically like planning it. Like, oh, this is a sport where you can kill people and get and you get paid for it. And he's just so descriptive about it. Like usually when a guy talks shit like Tyson or any other of the fighters, they'll say something and then that'll be the end of it. This guy's going on and on about it, actually describing it as if he's planning on how he's going to do it, and right. That's the disturbing part of it to me.
I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things though, where to me it's like, it's just rhetoric. It is. It's just rhetoric. It's kind of like I'll give you an example. When Mike Tyson was talking to rhetoric, remember that press conference? And he said, I'm going to make sure you kiss me good with those big lips. And he says, wow, you're so sweet and everything. Like jailhouse talk.
Yeah.
And that's what he was doing. And everybody was so, like, shocked by that and everything like that. Listen, he's trying to get viewers. That's all he's doing. You've seen him in the ring with his kid after the fight or after the workout or whatever, the open workout. And he's playful and lovable with the kid and everything. He's going about it the wrong way. Don't get me wrong. He is definitely going about it the wrong way.
It's definitely in poor taste, especially seeing all the shit that's been going on lately in the ring.
Right, for sure, it's in poor taste. But listen, man. That being said, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, And Johnny on the spot says Wilder's been talking about getting a body on his record for years, and he's right. He's right, and. Georgie says, if we're going to go ahead and kill in the ring, let's throw the rules out then. Listen, again, you guys this is hype. It's hyperbole. That's what it is. And, that's all it is. So don't confuse it. Don't confuse it or anything. It's in very poor taste. If I was his, listen, man, if I was his manager, if I was Shelley Finkel, if I was his promoter, I'd be pulling this guy aside and saying, look, this probably isn't the best way you really want to go about this. You don't want to. This is probably not the best way to hype yourself up, hype the fight. Not the best way to do it. But again, that being said, listen, we've interviewed Wilder's a very fun-loving guy, very nice guy. This is just hype. But that being said. Yesterday at the press conference, I'm watching him, and he's a showman. Again, he's a showman. But when he talks, you believe him, and that's what pulls you in. That's what pulls people in. That's why this statement, if Dominic Breazeale, I can say this right now, if Dominic Breazeale had said that, had came out and said, hey, blah, 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 I'm going to go and kill Wilder, and I'm going to put a body on my record, 100% nobody would believe him. Not at all. Because he's not believable in that character. Deontay Wilder in this character is completely believable. When he says it, you believe, like, wow, this guy's actually going to kill somebody. You know what I mean? When Breazeale says it, not so much. And Wilder alluded to it in the press conference because he says, oh, I'm going to beat him. He says, you don't even believe that.
But the thing is this.
He's 100% right. I don't believe it.
We've never heard anyone say, oh, well, this is a sport where you can kill someone and actually get paid for it. Like, let's read the quotes. Because this is catching a lot of traction. This was on Fox.
Sure.
Fox News was talking about this.
Sure.
A lot of mainstream. Deontay Wilder being investigated by the WBC. All right. What else? We gotta get the exact quotes because these quotes are kind of
investigated by the WBC, and that's going to go absolutely. That's code for nothing's going to happen.
Exactly.
And again, they know. Like I said, the best thing his handlers can do right now is go to him and stop being the yes men, and say, hey,
I'm gonna try to find the quotes here.
Let's tone it down a little bit. We can still talk, but let's not talk about killing people.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Reese Mack in the chat says, but you don't want to kill. I get it, man. Trust me. But you guys I think you guys might be missing the point in the sense that it's hype. He doesn't want it. I mean, nobody's trying to kill Breazeale tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Well, here it is.
Here to try to kill somebody.
Here it is. Listen to this quote. This is on a Fox News article. This is the only sport where you can kill a man and get paid for it at the same time. He said it's legal. So why not use my right to do so while they told reporters?
Right.
That's a little bit like, it's almost like he's like planning it. Like he's saying it's legal to kill somebody in the ring. Like it's acceptable. Like it's normal. And then he's saying why not use my right to do so? I don't know, Eric. I mean, you can say what you want, but that's a little bit too much.
It is. Listen, man. I mean, listen. You're preaching to the choir. 100% wrong.
Like it's not like he's just saying, "Oh, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that." He's actually describing it and talking about it as if he's really convincing in the way he's talking about it.
He's a character. He's playing a character.
I don't know, man.
Look at Floyd Mayweather. Could anybody be that much of a douchebag and still have friends? He's a character. You know what I mean? Nobody can be that much of a jerk and have people hanging out with you. It just doesn't happen.
But look at Floyd Mayweather's history. He can't hold on to a woman, right? He can't. 50 Cent. He's not cool with 50 Cent anymore. He's not cool with Ray J anymore. He's not cool with Justin Bieber anymore. Like he kind of is a dick in real life.
He's not cool with Justin Bieber anymore?
No, he doesn't. Like a lot of his relationships don't last because he's a narcissist.
Yeah.
Like he's fucked up, Floyd Mayweather. Look at his inner circle now, and then look at what it was 10 years ago. Like a lot of he's got Ellaby, he's got his cousin still there,
right? And
he's got Heyman. But outside of business, like personal shit, like look at his personal friends. The bodyguards are always changing. His circle of friends are always changing. I don't think he probably has a true friend in the world. Outside, like he never had a relationship with his father. The only type of relationship he had with his father was it was a boxing relationship.
Right.
His father didn't care about him as a son. He cared about him as this guy's like, I'm living through this kid vicariously. Like he's like a product.
Yeah.
He's the boxer. I'm the trainer.
Yeah, he's like a product. That's a very good way to
put it. I don't know. Some of these guys are damaged socially and psychologically, and they carry that over into the ring and into their normal talking, their normal way of carrying themselves. It just spills over into their life. And this is you have to ask yourself this, because when Deontay Wilder first came about, he was that nice kid from the South, very personable, very friendly, very happy, very very likable guy. But ever since this Anthony Joshua stuff has happened, and he's become resentful and had this resentment about how he's being treated and how he's not being respected. Maybe this is having an effect on him. This whole Joshua situation, this whole situation of people, not really acknowledging him as the heavyweight champion, having Joshua steal all the shine from him. Maybe that's affecting him.
I don't know. I mean, again, I still think it's a character. I still think
people change. People change, Eric. Like people get bitter over the years. Yeah. People get upset.
I agree with that. I still do. I mean, like I said, man, I still just think it's a character role, and I still just think it's hype. It's not
these guys do read the press clippings, man, and I think it does affect them. I think it does affect them.
And in Wilder's case, lack thereof. There was no press clippings. Everybody's talking about Anthony Joshua. How do I get in the limelight? How do I get my name in there? You know what I mean? We already have a good guy, Anthony Joshua. He's very respectful. He's very this. What do? I got to be the bad guy. I got to start talking about this, start talking about that, start talking trash. But he is very convincing at it. And he is very convincing. And I tell you what, listen, man, If I was in Dominic Breazeale's chair yesterday and Wilder is talking this to me, yeah, I'd be scared too. I'll tell you what, it was scary. I mean, because he's so methodical when he talks.
Yeah.
It really does pull you in. I mean, he is such, to me, he's such a great character. He really is.
Really is.
I mean, because you come from you watch like professional wrestling and those guys on there talk. Remember we used to watch old WWF and everything like that and those guys that would talk like a Ric Flair or like somebody like that, and they would just pull you in. The way their charisma, everything, whether they were good, bad, whatever, they would pull you in. This is classic WWF stuff, classic wrestling stuff. I'm telling you.
But see,
pulls you right in.
But you don't think that Wilder has changed a little bit now? You don't think? Listen, you don't see the resentment in him right now. You don't see a lot of this pent up aggravation and frustration. He's developed a mean streak over the years because he feels as though he hasn't been given his just due.
Well, I mean, listen, the mean streak's already been there. Everybody who fights has got to have a mean streak in you. It takes a mean streak to go out there and hurt somebody. I mean, it just does. I mean, you have to have that in you or you're not going to be a good fighter. The mean streak's already there.
But outside the ring, Eric?
See it.
But outside the ring?
No, I agree with you. He
was never like this before outside the ring.
Well, the thing that makes this different, I'll tell you, the thing that makes this fight different is the altercation in that hotel. There was an altercation in the hotel between him and Breazeale. Breazeale's family was out there. His kids were out there, which is, listen, man, that's just completely off limits. You don't mess with a guy's family. And you don't approach him when his family's out there and you're jawing back and forth. I mean, but then to have an altercation after that. I don't care what his wife was saying to you. I don't care. All that stuff's got to go by the wayside. You just let it go, because that's his family. I don't know, man. That was rough. And I don't know if Breazeale injured in that altercation at all, or nobody was really injured.
Well, he said Deontay Wilder says his brother dropped him.
Yeah.
So I don't know how accurate that is.
Well, we saw the video, and I don't think anybody got dropped. So, I don't know who's telling the truth. Well, he also said yesterday that his brother was by his kids, so nothing happened to his kids.
Here's
kids.
But here's the thing. Deontay Wilder started acting like this before the Breazeale altercation. He started acting like this around the time of the Spilka fight. When he knocked out Spilka, and Spilka was just lying there like he was out.
Yeah.
And that's when Deontay Wilder started talking about killing people in the ring. So this was before Breazeale. So this has been ongoing. This didn't just happen now.
Didn't Primo Carnera do the same thing? Didn't he talk about killing people, or was that? I mean, I think he legitimately retired a couple of people. I mean, I think he really did. But I think this kind of thing has been going on for a while. I don't think, and again, man, I can't say it enough. I think this is, and maybe I'm wrong, but I believe this is a character. Now, again, I agree with everybody out there. I think this is the wrong character. I think what he's doing is wrong. I think what he's saying is wrong. And I think it's very counterproductive to him. I think it's very counterproductive to his career. And if I was his promoter, if I was his manager, his people that surround him, pull him back in and say, hey, man, maybe we should cool this down, tone down the rhetoric a little bit. I mean, let's talk, but we don't have to talk about killing people.
Do you think he has yes men around him, or do you think they're actually telling him to do this stuff?
Oh, 100% he's got yes men around him. Oh, my God, yeah. I mean, he's the heavyweight champion of the world. I mean, yeah, he's got some yes men around him. He doesn't seem to be uber grounded. You know what I mean? He doesn't really seem to be like, he doesn't strike me as to be like that grounded. Yeah, I would 100%. Shelley Finkel might be the best guy around him to have a talk with him, to pull him aside. And let me tell you what, maybe he's just one of those guys. that you could tell him till you're blue in the face and he's going to do what he's going to do, and that's that.
Yeah.
That could be very well too. I mean, he may have had people already say, hey, listen, man, we need this to stop or we need this to happen. And he, oh, absolutely, absolutely, and then just does what he does. JD's, his trainer, seems to be the closest guy to him.
Yeah.
Because they came up from the jump. You know what I mean? He
Olympics.
seems to be the closest guy to him. He should be the one that has his ear. And he should be the one telling them, hey, man, you know, we need to cool this down. We need to cool this down. Because, I mean, like I said, man, we all know, I mean, we've interviewed Wilder. I've met Wilder. I mean, he's a super nice guy. Super nice guy. You talk to this guy for 5 minutes, you know, I mean, like, it's not him. You know, there's a switch, and it has to flip when he gets in the ring. There's a switch when the press conference comes on. You know, it just is.
Well, I can't say that you're wrong or you're right.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the guy personally. I'm not around him. I haven't been around him. I never met him, so I don't know. I interviewed him once. He seemed like he seemed like a decent guy.
Yeah.
But even then, he had a chip on his shoulder. He seemed upset.
You know, and I mean that's the thing though. Like I said, man, he, you know, we don't condone it. I definitely don't condone what he's doing or what he's saying, but you know, there's not much we can do about it for sure. Now, you know, the worst thing that could happen is if something does happen. You know, that's going to be really bad for him. It's going to be a very bad look.
Yeah.
You know?
And then what if something really does happen and he ends up doing something? How's he really going to feel? Because nobody comes out of that feeling good.
Ask Ray Mancini. You know what I mean? He was never the same fighter after the Kim fight. Never. He was never the same fighter after Dooku Kim. Yeah, not at all. Not even close. You know, it does. It's you don't come out the same as when you went in.
I can't imagine you do.
No. And a guy, you know, I don't know, man. Like I said, man, I don't think, that would be a bad look for him for sure. And he's the type of guy, man, like I said, man, I don't think that, I think that it would really affect him if something did happen.
I think so too.
You know, because he wears his heart on his sleeve. He really does.
Yeah.
He's too emotional.
Yeah.
But that's what I like about Breazeale. Breazeale's not very emotional.
He doesn't care.
Breazeale is taking this as it's business to him. And I'm sure he's got a lot of personal feelings after what happened with the altercation at the hotel. But that being said, just a sidebar here, lines are not open. No, we are not taking calls tonight. Sorry. But that being said, I think he's ready. It's weird. Listen, man. I mean, you can look at the press conference and say that Wilder said this and he said that to Wilder, but Wilder was right. It wasn't believable. You know, he wasn't believable. He was right. He's not really believable. Trying to keep up with Wilder in this whole game. He's not that glib. But I tell you what he is. He's calm. He looks very calm out there. And he also looks very ready. This was the best I've probably seen him look. The best I've probably seen him look out there at the weigh-in. He looks ready. He looks sharp. My only cause for concern with him is this is his first fight with Virgil Hunter. I'm not a big Virgil Hunter fan unless the guy he's training is Andre Ward. That's it. Every time I've seen Virgil Hunter train somebody, it goes south. Whether it's Amir Khan, whether it's who was the Polish guy? You know what I'm talking about?
Fonfora, yeah.
Yeah. Went south for him in a real big hurry. And,
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, Hunter did him no favors in that fight. And Johnny on the spot says Virgil's a horrible trainer. Listen, man, I've only seen him do what he's done with one guy, have success with one guy, and that's Andre Ward. And I don't know how much. I mean, obviously he brought him there, but I think if Andre Ward dumped Virgil tomorrow, he would still, or in the middle of his career, he'd still be the same guy. I mean, it's just Ward. He's got something special. And maybe those two just mixed together, like Tommy Hearns and Emmanuel Stewart. Maybe they just mixed together.
Yeah.
But Virgil Hunter has not done anybody any favors as far as his training goes. So, this would be a huge win. This would obviously be a huge upset if Breazeale did win, but it would be an even bigger upset in the sense that he won with Virgil Hunter in his corner. Because again, man, I'm not his biggest fan. And there's no, like I said, just based on what I see, based on some of the advice he gives, I don't know, just not my cup of tea. Does it mean it's not going to work? Absolutely not. I'm not the one fighting Wilder. He's got to go out and fight Wilder. You know? So what are you going to do? Beeb, what are your thoughts on Virgil Hunter in that corner? What are your thoughts on the overall demeanor of Dominic Breazeale here? Because I do think he looks very good. I think he looks very physically. He looks good, and he doesn't look intimidated. He may look irritated, but he doesn't look intimidated at all by Wilder and his rhetoric and everything like that. And he doesn't look scared.
I don't know. He kind of looks like he's uncomfortable, to be honest.
Dare you?
He doesn't. I don't know. And then also, Virgil Hunter doesn't look comfortable. He seems like he's irritated. He's not happy about listening to this stuff. I mean, because he's always said, like, you don't have to act like especially he said African American fighters, in order to get attention, people think this is his words. So people think that they have to act a fool and play a certain role in order to get attention and become popular.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the same thing here, is where Deontay Wilder has to act a certain way in order to draw attention to this fight, in order to draw attention to himself.
Sure.
And Virgil Hunter is not about that. He's totally against that. So you can see the frustration in his face. And at one point, he turned to Breazeale and he said, "Don't even." He said, "Don't even answer the man. Don't even answer the guy's questions. Just ignore him." During the press conference, you could see he was getting a little bit upset, and it's kind of cringeworthy listening to this. If you want to know the truth, in my opinion, that's just the way I see it. I think it's cringeworthy, and I don't know. I just think it's a little bit too much. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, I'm not either, because it puts a poor light on the sport too.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like everybody's an animal.
Yeah, just reinforces stereotypes that we don't need that we don't need to be reinforced.
Right. I mean, let's face it. If somebody was in the UFC talking that would be they'd put a cap on it real fast.
Absolutely.
I mean, they would put a cap on that real fast.
Absolutely.
Did you think now the face-off yesterday and then the face-off today after the weigh-in? Did you see any advantage for either fighter? Did you see that anything like that?
What do you mean, like the advantage? Oh, did I see like someone like have a psychological advantage? Like, yeah, I think Breazeale's just sitting there. He can't. I think he's like saying to himself, is this guy serious or is this guy a joke?
Yeah.
He can't figure it out.
That's what. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's the. Yeah, is he a joke or is it? He looked kind of perplexed. He at times during the press conference yesterday. At the weigh-in today, he just looked ready. He just looked like, I want all this nonsense to go. I just want to fight this guy. Yeah. So let's talk about the fight for a minute here. I have a feeling. I just have a feeling that the fight may not go the way we expect tomorrow. Now, does that mean I think Breazeale wins? No. I don't think Breazeale wins. I think that Wilder is going to catch him in one of the 12 rounds. He's got, 36 minutes to catch him with one shot. And I think he will. And I'll tell you why. I think because Louis Ortiz is a very good boxer. He got caught. Tyson Fury is a very good boxer. Now, even though it went to decision, he got caught twice. Once in the final round. I just have a feeling that Wilder is going to catch him. He's got too much time somewhere that Wilder's going to catch him. Now, I know that Breazeale is tough to put away. He's a very game fighter, and especially in this fight, he's not going to want to go out. You know, he's not going to want to get knocked out, obviously, you know, early especially. I think that he makes this a lot better fight than we're thinking, and I actually think at the time of the stoppage, he's probably ahead on the scorecards.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think he gets stopped in 2 rounds.
Oh, how dare you. You show him zero respect. Come on, Beeb.
I'm sorry.
The guy's a family man.
And I'm going to explain something to you, too. This is just my opinion, and tell me if this has some validity to it. We've seen Virgil Hunter in the corner. He's quick to pull the plug when he sees a fight going south. Am I right here? So I can envision Wilder landing like a big right hand and knocking Breazeale down once. And then when he gets up, even before he gets hit with him getting hit with another right hand, and even before he goes down, I could see Virgil Hunter getting up on the ring apron and waving it off.
See, Hunter, he's on the way down. Hunter's already on the apron. Oh my God! Could Breazeale have picked a worse trainer?
I'm not sure if this is the trainer Breazeale needs. I don't think it's the type of trainer that he needs.
I think you're right. I mean, listen, man. I don't mean to pile on Virgil Hunter. I'm sure he's a good trainer.
Freddie Roach would be a good trainer for Breazeale because Freddie Roach is an offensive trainer. Breazeale's not a defensive specialist, and you're not going to teach him to be a defensive specialist at this stage in his career.
No. Well, I mean, I don't understand like how he did hook up with Hunter. This is kind of because it's a new trainer for him. I wonder if maybe his handlers or whatever wanted him to switch for this fight. I don't know. I can just tell you, man, that like I said, man, I'm just not impressed with Virgil Hunter. Somebody in the chat even said that Ward made Hunter, not the other way around. And there's a lot to that. There's a lot to that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tommy Boxeo says Breazeale should have hired Abel Sanchez as his trainer. Listen, I don't hate that. I mean, either that or Robert Garcia. I mean, listen, I mean, the thing is, man, I mean, there's a lot of good trainers out there. I mean, and Virgil Hunter has got a name, but who has he had? I mean, aside from Ward, I mean, who has he had?
He's just never had any success with anyone else. Really hasn't.
I mean, he's not had success with like anybody.
But here's the thing, Eric. He always has a job, doesn't he?
He does. He's a big name trainer, but why? Why is he a big name trainer?
They have him doing commentary and stuff too. I mean,
why is he a big? And his commentary is so dry. It's like listening to was it Ben Stein that was on Ferris Bueller? Remember that? Bueller.
Yeah.
Right. That's what he's like. He's like watching paint dry. He's terrible. He's terrible at announcing too. You know.
He's not the greatest.
No, not even close, man. But Andre Ward put him on the map.
He did.
He just did. You know. You think this fight ends in 2 rounds?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow. I don't know about that, man. I think listen, man, I think there's a lot of pent-up aggression in Breazeale. I'm not so sure how much aggression is in Wilder, to be honest with you. He does a lot of talking. We'll see. We'll see. I think we could have a surprise on our hand in the sense that the fight could be a lot rougher than we think it's going to be.
I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
Yeah. So have I. I mean, we all have. I mean, and at the end of the day, it's just our opinions. I think that I do think that Wilder catches him, though. I do think that Wilder catches him. You think, it's like a bulldoze. Yeah.
I think it's a bum rush. I think this is like a Bermain-Stavern fight all over again.
Wow. That was a rough fight. I tell you what, that rematch, yeah, that was a rough fight for the Stavern. But, that Stavern, he came in way overweight. Didn't look like he ran a mile for this fight, and then goes out there and gets pasted, You know what I mean? I mean, it was like, yeah, man.
You know what this is going to be like?
What's that?
Remember the Game of Thrones last week?
Yeah.
When the dragon,
the final battle, the final battle when he went in there and stripped him away. One side.
Well, Deontay Wilder's going to be Drogon, the dragon, and Dominic Breazeale is going to be King's Landing.
Well, he might have the Scorpions, though. What about the Scorpions? Might have
They're
those.
They're going to get blown out of the water just like they were in the episode. They're going to get lit up with the fire.
And
they're going to...
Virgil Hunter ringing the bell in King's Landing.
They're going to ring the bell. Virgil Hunter's going to get up on the apron and ring the bell. And Wilder's going to keep punching him.
He's stopping. They're going to pull him off. All right. So, now on the undercard, Gary Russell is fighting for. Let's box for Gary Russell real quick. Is it true? He's got 5 fights in 5 years.
Let's take a look.
Incidentally, Gary Russell weighed 125 and 3/4 pounds. Kiko Martinez, the challenger, 124.5, and that's for the WBC featherweight title. Gary Russell looks like he's in good shape for sure. No, listen, man, he always comes in shape. He always comes to fight. My big gripe on Gary Russell, and I love Gary Russell. I really do. He's one of my favorites when he fights. But
the last time he fought twice in 1 year was 2014.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is his 5th fight in 4 years.
In 4 years or 5 years?
2015, 16, 17, 18, 19. 5 years. I'm sorry, Eric.
Wow. 5th fight in 5 years. How is he able to hang on to that belt, Beeb?
Well, I think you have one. Again, it doesn't matter. We already had this conversation. It's up to the sanctioning body to enforce the mandatory.
Well, that's a very good question. Is why they're not enforcing it.
They never do. WBC never. The WBC did not enforce their mandatory on Deontay Wilder for 2 years, Eric. Let that sink in. 2 years. 2.5 years. The last mandatory, let's look at Deontay Wilder. His last mandatory, right, was Romain Stavern. Let's box rec. We're going crazy with box rec today, but it's a useful tool today. It's a useful tool today.
Box rec is our friend.
Box rec is like Webster's Dictionary of boxing.
It really is. It really is. That's an English company, isn't it? Box rec.
Yeah, it's based out of, I think it's UK. Yeah. So let's look at Deontay Wilder. His last mandatory was Romain Stavern. Okay, that's 2017, November of 2017. Okay, we're now in what? May of 2018. So it's been about 2 years. It's almost close to 2 years since Deontay Wilder has fought a mandatory.
Yeah. Reese Mack says either you have box rec or Robbie. Either one, they're just as good, man. One is just as good as the other. Robbie.
November of 2017, November of 2018. That's 1 year. Okay, so then you got December, January, February, March, April, May. So he hasn't fought a mandatory in 1 year and 7 months.
Gary Russell had said that the reason he only fights once a year. And they were kind of ribbing him about it at the conference, the presser. The reason he only fights once a year is he came out and he says, well, none of these other champions want to fight me.
Really?
Really.
That's interesting.
Really, because that sounds like kind of nonsense. I don't know. We got Leo Santa Cruz there. And by the way, you don't have to just fight champions. You can fight other fighters. We got Lomachenko out there who handed you a defeat. I mean, you could fight him. You could fight,
Well, who turned down a fight with Gary Russell?
I don't remember anybody turning down a fight with Gary Russell. Anybody that I've heard. Now, if you talk to Gary Russell, he might have a whole list of names, but I don't ever remember that.
What big name has he negotiated a fight with recently?
Yeah,
that we've heard that we've heard of.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we got Kiko Martinez on tap, and not that he's a bad fighter, but Russell should beat him pretty handily, I would think.
Tony Ayo, you don't get notifications? Why don't you? Maybe you need to hit the notification bell. Hit the notification bell
hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, because you probably didn't hit the bell. You got to hit the bell.
Yeah, hit the bell.
You're not going to get the notifications if you don't hit the bell.
Tony Yayo, we want you here.
We want you here first thing.
That's right.
You think I like starting a show and seeing 10 people in the chat?
You think he likes that? You think Beeb likes that?
I want to see 50, 60 people in the chat.
Right. That's what he wants to see.
All right.
Hey, by the way, guys, hit the like button. What are you guys doing?
Hit the like button, for Christ's sakes.
Button. Come on. Show us some love.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
It's a Friday afternoon, and let me tell you what, me and Beeb have our pick of things we could be doing right now. Beeb, is that right?
I rushed home from the gym just to do this show.
Right?
And I'm sitting here scoffing popcorn down, hitting the mute button so people don't hear me crunching.
That's it.
I'm so freaking starving right now.
Let me tell you something. I've got a plethora of things I could be doing right now, but instead, I'm here with you guys on a Friday afternoon. So hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
Come on.
For Christ's sakes. Jesus. What did we give you? We already gave you like 4 videos this week.
We give you our soul. Come on.
This is our second show.
That's right.
And then what did I do? I did 2 videos. I did 2 videos.
Solid.
That's 4. So that's 4. That's 4 videos in a week.
No calls today, Jason. Sorry. We're gonna give you a show tomorrow.
No calls this week. So what does he do? He calls my cell phone when I'm doing the show.
Douche. Again, we cannot hear you on the cell phone.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, he's like a chick, isn't he? Isn't he like a chick, like like that needy chick who always calls you and...
We're doing a show tomorrow. Just call in tomorrow. Can't you just write down what you need to ask?
What rumors? Tony Yayo said a rumor started by Steve Kim and Rick Glazer. What rumor is he talking about here? PBC for sale. Yeah, you know what? That's interesting enough, and we're going to ask Steve Kim. Steve Kim should be with us on Sunday. So, guys, make sure to stay here for that. On Sunday, we'll have Steve Kim as our guest, and we're definitely going to ask him about the PBC sale to Ari somebody. What was his name? What's that guy's name? Ari, I don't know. Who cares?
We'll have to Google that.
Listen, he's the head of WME. They bought the UFC. So how crazy would it be to, how crazy would it be to have that? Yeah.
Ari Emanuel. Thank you, Jason.
Ari Emanuel. Thank you, Tony Yayo. So yeah, I mean that would be pretty nuts. So we'll talk more in depth about that on Sunday. So yeah, man. The other fight on that undercard is. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. No. Would that be a good thing?
I think it'd be an awesome thing.
I think so too.
I think it'd be an awesome thing because WME is doing a pretty good job with the UFC.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking about this and that with the WBC or not the WBC but UFC. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, man. I mean, how much did they pay for that? Like $4 billion or $6 billion or something crazy?
No, $4 billion, bro.
$4 billion for that company. So it's going to take them a while to see some profit out of that. All right, it's
just absolutely.
So now you got possibly WME buying that, mixing it with the UFC. I mean, same company now. They're under one umbrella.
Yeah.
That's who do you get to run that then? That's a big one. Who do you think runs it? I think Uncle Dana might have a hand in it. I don't know.
Dana White. Uncle
Dana. I'm very close to Uncle Dana. He is my uncle. So there you go. Argenis Mendez versus Juan Heraldez is also on that Showtime card. Not real interested in that fight. Is what it is.
Yeah.
The World Boxing Super Series on tomorrow. Inoue versus Emmanuel Rodriguez. Did you see? Apparently, they pushed Inoue's father, like Rodriguez's camp.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. They were arguing or something. I guess the camps were arguing a little bit, and
that's
one
not
of the guys and pushed his father. And his father looks like such a nice guy too. He looks very, real peaceful guy. He doesn't. He's not going to. His dad's not going to be out there talking trash.
Inoue looks like he's about 12, doesn't he?
He really does, yeah. I heard he's a big star in Japan, man.
Yeah.
He's huge over there. Yeah.
He looks like he's like fucking 12.
Yeah, he does.
Isn't that funny?
And his father at the end, he said, hey, look, these guys are going to fight, not me. And he was real real good about it and stuff like that. Yeah. And so that's going to be a good fight. I can't wait to see that one. And then Josh Taylor and Ivan Baranchyk. Now, I was really high on Josh Taylor until today, man. He came in overweight. Did you see this?
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, he came in 0.2 overweight. Then he stripped down.
Oh, then Jesus.
Apparently, there was some controversy on whether he made the weight or not. Because he hopped off the scale or whatever. I guess they said he made weight, and they weren't 100% sure that he made it or something like that.
Oh, that's fucking nuts, Eric.
Yeah, man. That's no good. So if you were planning on betting on Josh Taylor, I would hold that money, man, because – look, man, you don't ever bet on a fighter that comes in heavy or a little bit overweight. You just don't want to do that. I mean, listen, in the grand scheme of things, he may whitewash this kid. But
I'm still putting my money on Josh Taylor.
Wow, you're a degenerate gambler. How dare you?
I'm sorry. I feel comfortable.
You feel comfortable enough to put it on Josh Taylor.
I do. I'm not afraid.
Jason, I'm telling you that there was a problem on the scale. They were confused on whether or not. Why am I even entertaining Jason right now?
He has to say something stupid
every troll.
Every show he has to say at least one stupid. He has to say at least one stupid thing.
He says a lot of stupid things.
I know, but I mean,
right? It's in his one show, right?
It's in his contract that he says at least one stupid thing.
It's in his contract.
That's why I had to take the wrench away.
That's right. That's why he's got no wrench. That's why he's thinking about there, wondering what it'd be like with the wrench.
I wish we could.
Tony Yayo. I'm going to give the wrench to Tony Yayo.
I wish we could give out dunce caps.
We could.
Give him a dunce cap. Give him a dunce cap instead of a wrench.
Does Georgie have a wrench? Yeah, Georgie has a wrench.
Jorgie has a wrench. You kidding me?
Georgie's the man. Georgie's.
If I could give Georgie 2 wrenches plus a hammer, I would do it. The guy's been following, myself and Robbie. And even you now. He's been following all of us now.
I mean, come on.
Following, what's it been? Almost two and a half years? We're going on 3 years right now, Eric.
He's a friend of the show, man. Friend of the show.
Eric, I'm proud to say that this may be the longest standing podcast I've ever been a member of.
There you go.
I have falling out. We have a falling out with everybody.
Well, me and you gotta have a falling out then. We can't make this. We gotta.
I mean, the only problem I have with you is you make fun of my personal assistant here.
Lois?
That works. That's the only problem I have with you.
Oh, I see. The blow up doll, Lois. Do you have a date with her tonight?
Eric, please. It's a perfectly platonic relationship. She works for me. It's a conflict of interest.
Platonic, meaning that she's not a.
I mean. We've given you the handbook to read several times, and you can't fraternize with the help. You already know the rules.
Mrs. Lorda just called me rude. Yeah. Sorry. And then she looks at me. She's like, "Oh, you're doing your show?" I
thought you were just talking.
No. That's right. Oh my God, Lois is a hoe. How dare you, Callie King? That is Beeb's woman. Come on. Show some respect.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Everyone's jumping on Lois. I don't like it.
Everybody's jumping on Lois, man. That's how it is.
That didn't sound right, did it? Everyone's jumping on Lois.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Everybody's jumping on Lois if you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's it, man. So what are we doing tomorrow, Beeb? What's going on? What's happening tomorrow?
Well, I want to do a live cast of the fight.
All right.
And then just have it transition right into a post-fight show.
Let's do it. You want to do Hangouts? You want to do a Google Hangout?
But I want people
to have a TV in my studio, my plush, luxurious studio here.
So people won't be able to call in the post-fight then, huh?
What we could set up a post-fight and then end the fight cast, and then we can do a live show after.
All right, well, we'll do that then. We'll do that.
Do that?
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right.
You just gotta make sure that the TV is very, very low, so it doesn't pick up on the video.
Right.
So you don't need to listen to those goofballs anyways, really.
No. Are you kidding me? Me and Beeb with the boxing knowledge we have.
And it's better that we keep it low too, because then we can kind of we can actually make it as though we're commentating the fight and calling the action without any influence.
Right.
See what I'm saying? We'll just give our total opinion of the fight.
Yeah. Jason says you morons are boring. Wow. You're so rude. So rude. Hit the like button.
Without callers, we don't have to listen to your stupid ass. You know how many complaints we get every time you. All you have to do is read the chat. The minute you open your mouth, you know what people are saying? Get them off. Get them off. Get them off. People are calling. People are calling for the hook. The minute we pick the phone up and you're there.
There you go. The Funktopus, thank you so much, man.
Is this what I got to do to get a response?
Absolutely. What did he say? I'm sorry, I missed your question.
Ask the question again. I'm totally sorry.
Yeah, what was his question? And I'm even scrolling back through the chat to see. Oh, he wants to hear Georgie call in. What was the other one?
Thanks, D-Style.
Let's see here. Do you think his fans would benefit? And I guess he's talking about the PBC sale.
Does he think the fans will benefit?
Was that your question, Funktopus? Do you think the fans will benefit from a PBC sale? Okay, yes. All right, so do I think the fans will benefit from a PBC sale? Yeah, I do. I absolutely do, especially the WME. I think they would, because I think it puts it all on one banner, and I think they would try to. When PBC came on the scene, PBC, I believe, was trying to make it like the UFC, where they're under one umbrella. Okay, yeah. And the rumor was they were going to have PBC titles. Remember when they first came out, they didn't even talk about the WBC title or the IBF title, or if somebody had a title, they didn't even mention it. We just have a fight.
Yeah, I remember.
I think they will try to go back to that model. I really do. I really do. But
that's very interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know. But yeah, I think it's much better, because I think you have listen, man, you have guys that are fighting once a year. Gary Russell, Danny Garcia not fighting too much. He was been not as active as everybody would like him to be. People want to see these guys, so I think it does need a little bit of a shot. I think it's I wouldn't say it's fading in any way, but listen, the UFC wasn't fading and it got sold, so you don't have to be fading to get sold.
Yeah,
but yeah, I do think it. To answer the Funktopus, to answer your question, I absolutely think it's better for the fans. Sure,
I think it's better for the fans too, because they have more resources, more influence. I mean, money changes everything, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and hate on the UFC.
Yeah.
Hate on everything that's doing good.
He never has any good points, does he?
You're so insecure, like you're just like so scared all the time that something's going to be better than the PBC.
We want something better than the PBC, don't you? I want something better than DAZN, better than ESPN.
I like competition. I've had Comcast for the longest time. You don't think if DirecTV can give me a better deal, I wouldn't switch?
Right.
Like why? Like I'm not. Why would you be a blind loyalist to anything?
Right.
Who cares who fights once a year? Big deal. There's enough fighters there that they can basically have good fights regardless.
John Jones is the biggest star in the UFC right now. He's going to fight 3 or 4 times this year. There you go.
No, know what the fuck he's talking about. Always saying stupid shit.
He really is. So
yeah, that's it.
I think that's a really good thing. I think that's if that's and who knows if it's true? Who knows anything? I mean, again, this is a very loose rumor, but it's very interesting. It's a very interesting rumor. I will say that.
Yeah.
It's an interesting. It definitely, when I heard it, I was like, and I heard it from a pretty good source. The guy I heard it from is 90% spot on, and all the stuff he gives us. And yeah, I mean, that's a very interesting thing. No question about it. Very interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
That's for sure.
It's going to be interesting to talk to Steve Kim about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, Steve Kim coming on Sunday. That's going to be. He's always such a good guest, man.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff. ESPN's own Steve Kim.
Jason's going to cry.
Oh yeah, Jason. Why you have him on here?
He's going to start crying because he's afraid of Steve Kim.
Steve Kim.
Little pussy's afraid of Steve Kim. He's gonna cry.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Oh, Steve, please.
I hate Steve Can't. Why is he on? Why do you bring Montero on the show too? I don't like him either.
So afraid of everybody.
Yeah, don't be afraid of him. Just embrace it. Ask him
Just
questions.
You want to just like be you want to like listen to one side of something.
Right. Beeb and Steve Kim share Lewis.
What does that have to do with anything?
Lois. Words are hard.
What do people usually do when they start like when they can't really come up with a good argument? What do they usually do? They just they change.
Yeah.
They just change the subject.
Right.
Hey, what about last year in August the 21st? Remember how hot it was that day? Like, what is that? What like they just come up with random shit that has nothing to do with the conversation. Why? Because they can't debate you intelligently.
Yeah. Right.
So stupid.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, we can. Now, when do you want to start this? At 9 tomorrow? You want to do it for all the fights, or you just want to do it?
I just want to do the Wilder fight. What do you think? You want to do all the fights?
I think so too. I think just the main, man, because the other two fights, I don't know. I could take or leave, honestly.
Yeah, I just want to do I'll just do the main fight.
Yeah, we'll watch it, and it'll be like two guys watching the fight. You know what I mean? We're not going to be all. I don't know. I don't want to be like too like.
D-Style's asking if we're gonna do the play. We're gonna do the play-by-play.
Yeah, I mean we'll call the fight. I mean.
Yeah, we'll do the play-by-play.
We'll let you know what's happening on there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, D-Style.
Notorious says recap the WBSS. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I think it depends. Saturday, will we recap the WBSS? I don't know, man. We might just do the Wilder post fight. We might not get in anything because
it's too much. Too much. You know
we do too much, man. And then we got no show on Sunday. You got nothing to talk about on Sunday. So, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, Ringside Robbie will be there. He won't be there tomorrow, but he'll for sure be there on Sunday for sure. He's Johnny on the spot on Sunday. There you go.
Yep.
All right, guys. I think that's going to do it. Unless you had anything else, I think we're.
Make sure you guys buy the T-shirt. Make sure you click the MegaFit Meals link. You know the routine.
Son.
You know the routine.
That's right.
And I already been getting on you guys' asses about the super chat, so I'm not going to say it again.
The Funktopus, salute. Legendary Boxer, salute. Notorious VC, D Styles, salute. Cali King, salute. Tony Yayo, as always, salute. Kung Fujitsu, salute. And that'll do it. Catch us tomorrow during the Wilder fight. We'll be going live, and we'll also be doing a post-fight show. You can call in, all that other good stuff. And until then, we'll see you tomorrow.